Hey guys, welcome to this video. My name's Olivia and this is Endless Pages. Today I am going to be talking about some books that have been on my TBR for way too long. They've just been sitting on my bookshelf collecting dust. I think because I buy so many new books, I want to read those books first, and these ones have just kind of been sitting there forgotten about. So I thought if I talked about them today, maybe I could have some accountability and actually read them. I also have a lot of series that I've started and just never gotten back to, not because I don't like them, just because, you know, I find newer books that I want to read, or I'm just not in the mood, or I've forgotten that I've started the series. So I could probably do a whole other video on series that I need to finish. Let me know if that is something you might be interested in seeing. So yeah, let's get into some books. The first book is Children of Blood and Bone. This one is by Tomi Adeyemi. It's a young adult fantasy book, and from what I can gather, it's set in this world called Orisha, where there was once heaps of magic and magic users until a new king came into power and ordered that all magic users be killed, which included our main character's mother. So our main character teams up with this kind of rogue princess to take down the king and bring back magic to the land of Orisha. I believe, yes, there is also an magic and romance themes as well in this book, and there is a sequel, and that is called Children of Blood and Vengeance, which came out in 2019. I honestly don't know why I haven't gotten to this book. I have heard great stuff about it. It's in a lot of people's recommendations videos. Maybe it's the fantasy, like I'm afraid if it's like high fantasy that I might find it a bit like intimidating or hard to read. But yeah, I think this is one I should definitely make a priority because it sounds really intriguing. I like the plot. I like the idea of romance in fantasy. Yeah, it sounds really cool, and this one is one I should definitely check out soon. And then we have The Gilded Wolves by Roshni Toshki, and this is a young adult like historical fiction, and it follows our main character Severin, who is, I think, kind of like a treasure hunter and like hotel owner. He's meant to be very wealthy, I think, and he is given an opportunity by this really wealthy like secret order called the Order of Mabul, I think that's how you say it, and the prize is his true inheritance. So I think he teams up with an engineer with a debt to pay, a banished historian, a dancer with a sinister past, and a brother in arms if not blood. So I think it's kind of like a found family trope. I have picked this book up like 3 different times. I've attempted to read it 3 different times and I've kept putting it down. Not because I'm not enjoying it, like I know this is a book that I'm definitely going to love. It's just that I haven't been in the mood to read it, or I've just been in reading something when I picked it up, so it's kind of like cursed my attempt. I definitely know I'm going to love this book. I always see it recommended for readers of Six of Crows, which is one of my favorite series. So I'm definitely going to love it, and I think I might make it my next read. Yeah, so then there is the Stylus C by Erin Morgenstern. Can we just appreciate this cover and like the spine? It's so pretty. I love it. This is an adult fiction book. It follows our main character Zach, who discovers this mysterious book underneath his university library. And this book is really magical, and it holds all of these great stories and also memories from his childhood. So he goes on a quest, follows all the clues that are in this book, and discovers this massive labyrinth. I think it's meant to be like full of books, I think. Because on the first cover it's got like that. I'm assuming that is the labyrinth. And when the labyrinth is threatened, he must continue his quest and find the end of his story, the end of the story that he sees, that is his life, to save the labyrinth. I know this also has like fantasy tags and LGBT romance. The reason I think I haven't read this one is because of the mixed reviews. I absolutely loved The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I loved the writing in that. So I also wanted to pick up this one because I heard the writing is like just as good. But I think it's mixed reviews because so many other people, like, it's so hard to follow, so confusing. So I think that has put me off a bit. So hopefully I do enjoy it. I want to give it a shot, you know, have my own opinion on it and not just like trust the opinions of others because, you know, I might like it. So yeah, I need to check this one out soon. I think, yeah, it's a bit intimidating of a read, but I can't say no to this gorgeous cover. So hopefully I will check it out soon. And then we have Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. I don't know heaps about this book. It is an adult fiction, and it is about the main character who is really socially isolated, doesn't have a lot of social skills, kind of tends to keep to herself. And I think she falls in love with the guy at the IT department at her office, and they both help up this elderly man who had just fallen over, and I think they, all three of them kind of have a connection because of that, and they, I think, are meant to help each other out of social isolation and help each other. I think I haven't picked up this book because it is a contemporary read, which is not something I typically read, and I'm reluctant to read anything contemporary, anything that's kind of out of my comfort zone, anything that's really not historical fiction or fantasy. I don't normally read, so I think it would be good to pick up this book to kind of challenge myself a bit, and I've heard really good stuff about it. I heard it has good mental health representation as well, which is another reason I picked it up. So yeah, that's this one. Hopefully I'll read it soon, and hopefully it doesn't go back on my shelf and sit there for another like 2 years and gather dust. Yeah. And then the final book I'm going to talk about is Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, and this is the first book in the Throne of Glass series. It's a young adult fantasy series, and it follows, I think her name's Selena, I think that's how you say it, I never know with young adult fantasy names. Follows Selena, and she is an assassin, and she's serving her time doing hard labour for her crimes in a salt mine until she is picked by the prince to be his champion in a competition where they are trying to find the next royal assassin. So she's chosen as his champion, and if she defeats all of her competitors and wins, she will have to serve the crown for 4 years, and then she has earned her freedom. But someone is killing off all of the competition, and Selena has to figure it out before they come for her. Obviously Sarah J Maas is an extremely popular author. I feel like this series has such like a cult following. I'm also a big fan of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. So I think this is like a book that I definitely need to get to. It's a really big series, so I think that's why it's also a bit intimidating as well. But yeah, this definitely, I think I will try and start this year, definitely, just because it's going to take me so long to get through the series. So yeah, that was just a quick little video talking about some books on my TBR. Let me know if you've read any of these books. I would love to know your thoughts on them in the comments. As well, keep an eye out. I am going to be releasing my first ever wrap-up video, and that's going to be a wrap-up for the month of May. So if you'd like to keep your eyes out for that video, please subscribe. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!